All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. If you want to, you can come sit in the seating here. We're going to get started.
This is where the show will be.
So good morning once again. My name is Raina Kearns. I'm an assistant professional at North Ranch Country Club, and this is my co-host, Jordan King Thomas. He's the Director of Instruction at Trump National Los Angeles.
Thank you, everyone, for spending your Monday with us here at the Kingdom. We have a lovely event planned for you guys today. Lots of great knowledge, lots of great info, everything from fitting to instruction, and hopefully everyone can walk away from here with some good takes. I'd like to thank the Kingdom and TaylorMade for hosting us and having us here. They donated the entire day here on property for us. And mostly due to this man over here, Greg Manley. He has been the director at the Kingdom for over 5 years now, quarter century PGA member, and a past president of the Northwest section. So if everyone can give him a hand, I'd like to introduce him and have him say a few words about this lovely facility and the way that he runs it.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. When Nikki called and said, hey, we want to do a teaching and coaching summit at the Kingdom, I said, sure, we're in. And like everything at the Kingdom, we do it what works best for both the PGA and for the Kingdom. So you guys are my brethren, and thank you for being here. Thank you for taking a day away from your clubs. I know it's a Monday, but we appreciate you being here, spending the day. There's a lot of good things going on. I want to introduce the Kingdom team real quick. So from right to left in the back, Dwayne, raise your hand. Dwayne Anderson's been with TaylorMade for 30 years. We number our bays here. So bay 1 is on the left, bay 2 is in the middle, and bay 3 you'll see later on today. That's where our R&D robot is to test golf balls every morning, except for this morning. And so out of bay 1 with our gear system, Dwayne developed a shaft rotation fitting story. So you're going to hear about fitting shafts today. You may have already heard it, but you're going to hear about how our Reacts stock shaft in QI40 came to life. It came from his brain through gears and into Matt Simone. I don't know if you've met Matt Simone or not, but he's our global custom leader. He commercialized Dwayne's brain, which if you know Dwayne very well, that's not an easy thing to do. So Dwayne will do a presentation today. He's awesome. And next to him is Brandon Dooley. Brandon's been with TaylorMade for I don't know how many years, but he was an experiential fitter out in the wild, came over here to HQ, has been a Kingdom fitter for a couple of years, and he's done a fantastic job. Errol Namella is next to him. Errol's got an interesting story. He's broken 87,000 bones in his body. He's a former professional snowboarder turned golfer. Started at the Grand, worked outside, became a PGA professional, and I call him the silent assassin. During a fit, he will speak when it's time to speak, but he won't overemphasize the information that isn't important. So there's things to learn from him, and he'll cover wedges today. Braden Williamson is next to him. He's our newest Kingdom fitter, does an amazing job. Braden and Brandon are going to take you across the street as one of the rotations today and show you HQ, our tour department, our putter tour department, our golf ball R&D lab, and maybe even content studio as well. So the Kingdom's been here since 1998. It kind of evolved from a testing center to what it is today. We are very proud of this. I mow the grass every morning. I make it look like this. That's a joke. We're going to tear this tee up May 1st and redo the whole thing. Build it like a USGA green, put all new sod down, and start over. It's been 12 years, so that's what the Kingdom is. We keep the standards as high as we possibly can, and we're super excited to share it with you. TaylorMade's off to a great start this year. We have the #1 share in metalwoods through February. We have a large lead in metalwoods. We have #1 iron as well. We were the only golf ball company last year that grew our share. So we have a cool golf ball story with the 2026 TP5 and TP5X that you'll see on the robot after lunch today. And so just a special place. Happy to have you guys here. I'm excited to have the PGA of America represented here at the Kingdom. Before I walk away, is there anybody that has any questions for me about the Kingdom? Kingdom is not open to the public, but if you have a TaylorMade account, we can book in one of your members. It's a pretty cool deal. Send your members here, we'll fit them and sell the golf clubs right back to your account. So you we'll do all the work for you, and you get the sale. Anybody want any cool stories? Anybody want to ask me about Scotty Shellfish Driver? Gary Woodland won yesterday with a mallet. Forgive me that this stat could be wrong, but a month ago I looked at it, and a blade putter had not won on the PGA Tour since last July. So I may have missed a week, but I don't think there is. Mallets are dominating on the PGA Tour, and Spider is going like gangbusters. If you watch TV, you see spiders everywhere. So that's a cool stat as well. So we have a ZT. Spider ZT launched last year. We had 80,000 units that sold out in 3 days. And we have ZT Black now, and we'll have another ZT coming here this summer as well. It's been a great product as well. Any other questions for me? Somebody's got a zinger, they just don't want to ask it. Okay, I think I'm done. Enjoy the day. If you need anything from me while you're here, that's what I'm here for. Hopefully your day is enjoyable, and we appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, moving on is our keynote speaker. To introduce two highly respected people in the golf industry is our very own SCPGA president, Dr. Allison Kurt.
Thank you, Raina. Thank you, Jordan. Good morning, everybody. Excited for a wonderful day today. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our keynote speakers, starting with Brady Riggs. 10 years ago, I was at a similar SCPGA section teaching and coaching event, and Brady was on a panel. And the things that he said and the mannerisms that he used and the information he gave about junior player development, I was really attracted to his ideas. So I reached out to him just cold and asked him if he would help me prepare for my second major. And he's like, sure, come on out. So I head to Woodley Lakes golf course. At the far end of the range is this champagne-colored SUV with the trunk lifted up and an old V1 system, you know, that yellow box. This guy wearing a long sleeve white UCLA t-shirt, cargo shorts, drinking iced tea. And I'm like, this is the guy that teaches tour players? And the next 60 minutes was a masterclass in golf IQ, emotional IQ, technical knowledge, and I gained so much from that, including a new friend. I've had so much fun teaching with him as a PGA adjunct faculty member, doing some golf schools together, and it's a great honor to see him present today. He's a top 100 teacher, an SCPGA Hall of Fame inductor, Golf Digest Best in State, SCPGA Teacher of the Year. The accolades go on and on. He's worked with some of the best and the brightest in the game. He also moonlights as a soccer coach, as a D1 women's golf coach, likes long rides on his Peloton, and has raised two wonderful daughters who are great human beings. He is one of the classiest PGA pros, one of the most generous individuals, and please help me welcome Brady Riggs. Our next keynote is a name that doesn't need much introduction, but Yani Tseng has taken over the golf world. In 2008, she was Rookie of the Year. 2010, 2012, she dominated the LPGA Tour with 15 wins, 5 majors. She was a household name, and it was so fun to see her week after week just dominate the tour. After some physical ailments and injuries and some yips in the putting sort of derailed a little bit of her success, she had the good fortune to cross paths with Brady, who really helped her find her true authentic self, go back to her true authentic swing, and bring her back to her successful state. Last year, she qualified for the U.S. Women's Open and claimed her first win in after an 11-year drought. And this year, she's 2 for 2 on cuts made, so I think we're going to be hearing more of Yani Tseng on the leaderboard. Please help me welcome Yani Tseng.
Wow, Allison, thank you for that introduction. I'm very humbled and excited to be back at the Kingdom. I was sharing a story with Allison, and before we were standing in the street, of course, about my first summit here at the Kingdom. It was a long time ago. A guy named Jim Flick, who many of you know, and I had an education that day in teaching. I thought I knew something at that point. I didn't know anything. I was a golf machine guy and convinced that I had all the answers, and that Jim Flick was just some old dude who didn't know how to teach, and he was behind the times. But we were doing live lessons, and I watched Jim fix somebody who was hitting this horrendous slice that nobody else could fix. He did it in about 30 or 45 seconds, and it made me question everything that I was trying to teach myself. So this is a cool place for me to be. What a great day we're going to have with this person. This is one of my most favorite human beings in the world. We had the chance to meet in 2024, and we've been hanging out since. And she just, as Allison mentioned, made her second straight cut on the LPGA Tour. She drove all night from Arizona to be here. Yani, how are you feeling this morning?
Feeling good. Thanks for having me here. It's my honor and to share this stage with you.
Thank you. Like I said, we met back in 2024, and been great to be part of your journey as things have moved forward. She's got such an incredible story. It's so compelling, so inspiring, and I feel like there's 3 chapters in Yani's story, and the third one is currently being written right now. The first one everybody knows, as Allison mentioned, she was number 1 in the world for 109 weeks. She was the first player to reach their 5th major championship before the age of 23. She dominated the game. She won 12 times in 2011, and golf was really easy back then, for sure.
Yes.
But I want to go back a little bit. So Yani started playing at 6 years old, and how quickly did the game bite you, grab your attention?
I play golf because of my parents. First time they took me to the range, I just fall in love with this game. I feel like this game is so hard, so challenge. I just want to keep hitting the ball and try to beat the balls. And then I feel, even now I have been playing 30 years, but every shot I'm hitting is so different. The feeling is different, the atmosphere is different. Every course I play is different. You never ever had the chance to hit 2 exactly the same shots. So I feel like this is how much fun the golf is, and it's about your mental, your physical, and it just living your own world there. And I think it's just so hard. Even now, like you say, I was winning 12 times a year. Now I think win 1 is so hard, and it just to able to chasing my dream. Even right now, I feel very grateful and very thankful to be here.
Yeah, and you can tell with Yani, and if you've ever seen an interview with her, I mean, her spirit is just infectious. It's so fun working with her. We have a really good time. I try to bring the positive, happy Yani out. Sometimes she can be a little hard on herself on almost every single shot. She's not happy about something, but she still loves the journey and the chase, and it's so cool being a part of it. So you had a great amateur career. You won the U.S. Publics, and then at the ripe age of 18, you turned pro. And you, I don't know if you remember, but you shared your story about Q School when you went to Q School. You had won or had a little success in Asia before that, but what was Q School like for you back in 2007?
That's a place I don't want to go back again. I got very stressful. My mom's there, and the whole week we barely talk because they don't know what to say, I don't know what to say, and everybody would just try to be focused. And the first day I play okay, and the second day I start playing well, and we eating the same dinner since that. Just try to keep everything the same, and it was like I told myself, I don't want to come back here. I need to try to make it my first time, and then I did it, and it was pretty cool after that, and have a long journey on the tour.
What was the first tee shot like at Q School? Do you remember that?
I know it's nervous,
Yes.
but I think compared to some of the tournament I play, I'm feeling the same thing. You know, I think it's all between your minds, and it's about the feeling is the same. You feel nervous, you feel handshaking, the heart is pumping. So that feeling, that sense, it's never change. It's I think what it changes in your mind. You know this is Q School. You know this is the putt for win. You know this is the putt to make the cut.
Right.
But the feeling of sense is the same.
That's great. So In 2008, you're a rookie on the tour. You are rookie of the year, and you just go out and win your first tournament. Happens to be the LPGA Championship. What was that like in Maryland? Do you remember anything about that week?
Yeah, it's very easy when you don't have any expectation.
Yes.
So I remember. I feel I'm very lucky. I played with Lorena Ochoa on the Sunday, and then she gave me so much. I feel like really relaxed playing with her, and she gave me confidence, good practice, good positive vibes when I'm playing with her, and she's just telling me to keep going. And then after the 18 hole, she's like, "You should go practice. We have chance to play. You have chance to play in the playoff." I was like, "No, I'm one shot behind. I just sitting here and watch." And she's like, and I was like, "How about if I go?" And then she told me, "Just play like an amateur tournament. Don't worry about other players. Just do what you did before and think about you as an amateur." And I feel like that helps me a lot because it's only my first year and I know nothing, and I just try to pretend like I'm still amateur and then enjoy as much as I can on the playoff.
Very cool. So in 2009, you win again, and then in 2010, in what I loved as a tournament, which was the Nabisco back in Mission Hills, you won that tournament. What was that like walking to that green with all those people there and then eventually jumping into the pond? How was that experience?
It's pretty cool because we played the first stage Q school there. So I have imagined to jump in that pond so many times. And then finally, one day I feel like, wow, this is a dream come true for me.
Very cool. So later in the year, you win your first of 2 Open Championships, that one at Royal Birkdale. And I know you love links golf. Why do you love links golf so much?
I think because I'm come from Taiwan, it's like a little island, and it's always windy. I feel like whatever the wind is picking up, it's raining, windy, and I feel like that's my time. It's the time to go, So when I go to British, I always get more exciting. I feel like I can imagine the shot more, and I'm pretty good to hit low, a little bit of stinner, and I feel this is a great course for me. And you just hitting 14 clubs in the bag instead of just hitting one shot, and I feel like it's a lot of imagination playing the links course, and that's what I love for.
It's interesting because the first time I was on the course with Yani was at Brentwood Country Club where I teach, and she was struggling at that point with her game a little bit with her full swing.
Very struggling.
And she hit the drive on the 4th hole. If you know that hole, it's a par 4 down the hill, and she hit it in the right trees. And I'll never forget, she's got a downhill lie in the rough, not sitting great. She's about 175 from the green. She's hitting 6-iron out of the rough, and she has to cut it around the trees. And I'm like, wow, this is a pretty challenging shot, out of the rough. And it was like the easiest thing in the world watching her hit this shot. She struggled off the tee with nothing in the way, but you put her in a difficult situation where she could use her imagination, and it was like, I can do this. And I think at that point, you could see the magic was still absolutely inside of her to be that player again. And I think that's why links golf appeals to you so much as well, because you can use your imagination.
Yeah, there is time I was really struggling. I'm hitting on the fairway and think about there's a big tree in front of me. Try to work the shot instead of think about what I need to do with my swing, and then try to use my imagination, feel the shot, and see the target. I feel like that's been helping me out a lot. But throughout the year, I have tried so many different coaches, so many different ways to play golf. And I'm just very happy that you brings me back that field player again, because there was time I was very technical. I was thinking about every part of my backswing, my finish, and I kind of lose myself. And then you help me out to bring it back, playing the fade, feel the shot again. And I feel like since that, I feel I'm more enjoying playing golf again.
And that's what, as teachers, we all want to hear, right? That somebody's having a good time playing the game they love. So before you win your second Open at Carnoustie, you just happened to win another LPGA championship by 10 shots. This is in 2011. So is that, at that point, the best golf you had played in your life, do you think?
I think so, but as I look back now, I don't have a good swing. I don't have like the perfect swing that everybody look, but I feel I'm confident. I know I can recover any shot I want, and I feel like I'm just play fearless. I miss the shot, I go recover. If I don't, and it's okay, I have a next chance. I don't think ahead, I don't think back. It's very easy to be a present on that time and play one shot at a time. I think that mental back then is very strong. But as right now, I think my skill is better than before. But it's just the mental is not quite there yet. I think sometimes you just need to have that good mental skill, and then the skill you have right now, and all of a sudden you might have a chance to win a tournament again.
That's just great advice. I mean, it shows how important confidence is, right? And so we go to 2012, you win one more time on the LPGA Tour, and then the second kind of phase of the career happens where you have challenges. You have physical challenges that come along. So tell me about the time in the darkness where you were trying to kind of come out and refine your game again.
Yeah, after I win like 12 times a year, and the next year I was thinking about how can I improve myself. I didn't know I was so good. I would just try to be perfect too much. I always play fade in my whole career. And after that year, I think about how about if I can hit some draw, maybe I can win more tournaments, or maybe I can play better. And I started practicing a little bit more draw instead of my natural shot. And I have been really struggling. Everything I try to make perfect, I don't have a go-to shot. When I'm under the pressure, I don't know, should I play fade or should I play draw? And I think that's a very big mistake for me to try to practice the things that I'm not very good at it. It's like my fade could be like 90% good, but since I practice some weird shots, my fade will be like 70%. It's not my go-to shot anymore. I have more choices, but when I'm under pressure, I have nothing to go. I just feel like I try to improve myself, but I'm trying to go the wrong way. So it's now I feel like some people asking me if they're bad at this, but I feel like it's okay if you're bad at this, but you need to get better than what you're good at it. Instead of trying to fix something that you're not good at it. So on that time, I try to work out more. I try to keep my body in shape, and it just everything I try to be what I'm thinking what number one should be, and it's not. And I try to start looking for what other players good at it. Like Imbi Park was so good at putting, Lydia Ko was so good at driving, and then I was trying to learn from them instead of thinking, oh, they should learn from me. I try to play their game instead of play my game. So I was really a little bit lost why I'm so good at like what's good in myself, like to think about the positive way and to try to find the good things in me instead of always keep looking what other people is good. So I have learned a lot from past few years. Even now, every day after the round, I try to ask myself what's good about today, because it's very easy to go back and review what's not good, what can be better. Those are so easy for me. I think it's very easy for everybody as well. But keep look what's good from today. It's been very hard for me, but I have been practice a lot of that and try to be grateful and thankful to play the golf I love.
What a great story. I mean, so you think you were really grateful back in 2011, 2012, or you just too young to know where you were and what was happening?
Yeah, like I don't know anything. Like I feel like I'm not deserved to be world number one because I feel like I'm not as good like other players. I just play without fear, without expectation, and then the trophy is chasing me, which is good. But now I'm chasing trophy. I'm never gonna get there, So now I'm trying to flip back again, just do what I'm doing right now, and one day hope the trophy will start chasing me again.
Oh, that's great. So we meet in 2024, as I said, in July. And at that point when you came, I don't know if you remember the first day at Brentwood that we were together.
Yes, I remember. You asked me, okay, show me your swing. And I asked, which one you want to see?
Yes. That's exactly what she said. I said, hey, Yani, can you hit a few balls? And she goes, yeah, which swing do you want to see? I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, well, I have 10 different swings because I have 10 different coaches. So it shows like the person who was winning all those major championships, who didn't know any better, that was Yani. That was the person who was just playing free. But then when everything else started to get in your head because you were trying to get better, which happens a lot, you lost who you were along the way. And as a coach, my job at that point is to try and figure out how can we go back in some way to find the person that was winning 12 times in a year on tour. And we talked a lot that day, and I I asked you, what shot are you trying to hit? And at that point, you were trying to hit a bit of a draw still, weren't you?
Yes.
And if you know, I did some research, I looked at all of her old swings, and there was no draw in that swing. It didn't exist. She was a cutter all day long. So, I mean, me being not that smart, figured that, well, if she could be number one in the world and win 5 majors hitting a cut, and since then she hasn't played very well, why don't we try and go back to that place? And the challenge was that we had a new Yani body in a way, because you had had some health
Yeah.
challenges with some surgeries.
Yeah, I have 2 hip surgery, one on the left, one on the right. So I actually took a full 5 years off, no golf, try to recover my injury. So after the injury, I don't really know what to do, what would be good with my swing, and I don't know if I can match the 20 years ago or like 15 years ago of the younger Yani. So you brought me back to show me the video when I'm playing my best in 2011, and that's my favorite swing, but I just don't know how to get there. I know the problem, I just don't know how to fix.
Yeah, and I think if you think about that, at that point, there's a lot of players that wouldn't keep playing, right? You had gone through physical challenges, you had an incredible, storied career, historic, but what made you want to keep playing? Because there were a lot of reasons to not play. But
Yeah.
what was the reason that made you want to keep going?
I think I just love this game so much. I don't want to give up when it's my bad times. Like I know I can do this. I want to get back to the stage that I'm still enjoy playing the tournament. I'm still enjoy to standing on the golf course, hit the shot I want. It's not about the score, but it's about the stage, the focus that I have, and then to bring back the joyful that I'm on the course, and that's what I'm looking for. And I feel like before surgery or after surgery, I haven't get that point yet, and I just feel like I love this game so much. I still have desire to practice and work hard, and I really want to go back and challenge myself again. It's not like I'm trying to prove to anybody. I feel like I want to prove to myself that I can still do it. It's not like winning a tournament, but to feel I'm enjoying on the course, play that fearless Yani again, and that's what I really miss about.
Do you feel like you're getting closer to that now?
I think so. I think it's getting much closer, and I just feel like now I can really play back as one shot at a time now. But it's not like it's easy like before. Sometimes I keep telling me myself to cut it off. Like sometime when I hit a bad shot, it's so easy to go back to what's bad there. So from that time, I telling myself to cut it off, and then to kind of shut the door, and then to walking towards to the good things.
And in the good things is kind of like the third part of her career here, which is when we met in 2024, and not only was the full swing not where you wanted it, but we had some other issues going on. The short game wasn't great, pitching and chipping wasn't great, and the putting was a bit of an issue. So we started working on her full swing. She started to hit it much better pretty quickly, and she goes to the Open Championship at St. Andrews. And talk about that tournament that week, because it basically was what made you change something significantly. But at St. Andrews, what happened?
I played so good that week. I think I hit like 14 greens for both days, and I just couldn't make any putts. It was very struggling to see myself hitting so well and couldn't make two-footer. It just every time I'm walking closer to green, my anxiety goes up so quick. I just don't want to putt. Like I try to leave myself downhill putts more than the uphill putts. Try to leave myself right to left putt more than left to right putt. That's how good my iron is. I can control it better. But once I'm stepping on the green, I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Even when I try to talk about the positive way, but I don't know when what comes. Like sometimes I stand over, I feel okay. Sometimes I stand over, I'm like, I can't take this putt in backswing. It was so hard. And then I remember Brady was asking me a couple months before Brady, she's like, why don't you change left hand? I was like, what, are you crazy? Lefty? I never thought about it because I have been trying so many different ways to fix that putter. Different grip, different putter, but nothing's working. But since that British Open, I told Brady, I can't wait to change. I want to find something that gives me a hope.
Yeah, and I mean, think about the courage that it takes to go from right-handed to left-handed putting. I mean, that is a special kind of stupid, that's a great thing. So Yani, being brave, decides to go get a left-handed putter, and I'll never forget, she texted me after she was putting with the left-handed putter, and she said, I feel like a kid again, because she was having fun putting again. And, as a coach, that's just exactly what you want to hear. And it doesn't matter whether it's a tour player or if it's somebody who's just starting the game. For them to have a good time, you know what that means. It means that they're going to want to practice more and they're going to get better because they're enjoying themselves. So that was a big moment for you to do that. And the stories about her putting left-handed are really funny. I remember you telling me that when you were at the first tournament where you're putting left-handed on the putting green, people were standing in the wrong place,
Yes.
right? And even on the course in the practice round, they were standing on the side they thought they should be standing, but she was putting from the other side.
Yeah.
So it was pretty entertaining, I'm sure, for everybody at that point.
Yes, and the thing is, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So the week before the first tournament, I switched to lefty. I practiced a lot on the practice green, but I don't know what's gonna happen during the tournament. And then the first hole, I had 3-footer putt. I'm like, oh my god, no, really? I'm start getting nervous. But until when I sitting up, I'm like, wow, this feels good. For the first day, I changed to lefty. I didn't miss anything inside 5-footer. So I was like, wow, this is great. This feels good because I always look some other players like, why they look so easy? Do they don't have pressure, no nervous or something? And now I feel the same again. I was like, yeah, I'm the same way. I don't feel anything. I feel confidence over the ball. But I having switched about over the years now. Sometimes I have to rely on the line because when I look, I'm like, I don't know where I'm aiming. But since I just keep practicing and it's getting better and better.
Yeah, so the speed was always going to be tough, right?
Yes.
Going from right to left-handed, and just seeing the line is challenging. But what's crazy, and I'll show you guys some of the videos of her before and after with her putting and her full swing in a second, because this is a teaching summit. But I wanted you to just know the change starts in your head for sure. And mechanically, it's a million times better left-handed. And it was from the first day she was putting that way, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
But
without thinking.
without thinking at
Yeah,
all. It was
that
just
helps.
way better. So that great putter is inside of her, but she just was trying so many different ways. And can you imagine the number of different grips you use and styles of putting and thoughts? I mean, it has to be
Yeah.
endless.
Endless. Same as a swing.
Yes, we did a little bit of both.
Yes.
So you changed to left-handed, right? And then I'm going to share a story about you that I don't know if you want me to, but I will anyway.
Which
So
story?
So she played in her home country. She played in Taiwan, and she had a very bad experience was it your home course when you played, and you didn't play quite well?
Yeah.
So she struggled a lot at her home course, and it was really difficult. Imagine going back to where you're basically a national icon, and you're playing a tournament, and you just don't have it from top to bottom. And then the next year, she was going back, and we were talking at the lovely Hansen Dam in Pacoima, California. And she's telling me that she's really nervous to go back and play in this tournament because she had a really tough time there. And there's so many expectations and so much pressure on going back to where she grew up playing. And I think, we had a great conversation. I just remember just telling you, like, look, it's not going to be as bad as last year, right? There's no way that's going to happen. And you might as well just go for it. You don't want to let this opportunity go by to challenge yourself and go back to your place that you grew up. And you had a really good week that week, I thought. Even though I think you missed the cut by one, maybe? Remember?
No, I made the cut.
Oh, you made the cut. She shows me what I'm getting old. I can't remember. So she makes the cut, and then I feel like that was a really big moment for you
Yeah,
on getting on the other end. Do you feel like there was another place in there somewhere that you felt like, wow, maybe I can do this again and I can be the player that I want to be? Were you seeing signs of hope?
Yes, I think especially since I changed to lefty, I feel like it give me the hope. It gives me the like you say, at practice. I feel more enjoyable to do anything I'm doing right now. Because I know, I see the hope that gets better, and I just have that desire and then to work the things I love and the things that my game is starting building pretty good. Like I think it's hard when you just think about you are good. Like, but now when I see it during the tournament. I hit straight on the first hole. I can make some putt. I start making some birdies, and that helps me to build my confidence as well.
For sure. So at 13 years old, you go to the U.S. Open, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of fell in love with maybe playing in that tournament one day.
Yes.
And then last year, you qualified for the U.S. Open for the first time in 9 years. Tell us about the qualifying, the 36-hole day, the playoff, and all that good stuff.
I didn't expect I would make this tournament.
Yeah.
For me, it was just another practice round in the tournament because sometimes it's very hard to have that same pressure when you're at home. So I try to play more tournament to get more practice that on the same pressure. And for that day, it's been a long time. I finished like two rounds in the row with under pars, and then that was a little bit surprise for me. But after that, they told me I'm going to play off. I'm like, wow, I start feeling good again. I start feeling confidence because we have like 6 players and they all from tour. But I was like, I am the one that has more experience out here. I'm the oldest. I wins more tournaments. So I feel like that gives me a lot of confidence going to the playoff.
So you're in the playoff. How long is the putt you have to make in the playoff to win?
4-footer.
4-footer, right? So this is somebody
No pressure.
No pressure. Just trying to qualify for the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
How did you feel standing over that? Did you feel like you, and I really believe this as a coach, that players make putts because they feel like they deserve to make them. And you absolutely deserve to make that putt. How did you feel standing over it?
I feel great. Like, I know I'm going to make this. It's not like I'm trying to think about the outcome, but as what I always been focused on is to really pick my line and just trust my stroke. Just bringing back what's in present now. Like, I didn't think about if I need to make this or I want to make this. Of course, everybody wants to make putts, but for that time, I just feel like I gave myself a good confidence and then good, very peace of mind that, if I do this, the result is going to happen.
How did it feel being back at the U.S. Open again?
Feels pretty good. It's been a long time. Everything changed. I think during the tournament they have the facility for like sports massage. You can book facial. You can do nails. It's so crazy. From 10 years ago, you have so many things you can do now. You can keep very busy for the week. And we have like organic food, like only players only, and the other ones only for player guests. It's just very crazy. Like, it feels like I'm a rookie out there. I feel, wow, this is so exciting. And I enjoy a lot, especially playing the course that's very, very tough, very challenging. And I feel like that's always a good ball striker course to win in a major. So I enjoy so much. Even I missed cut by 1. I feel like it's a bit unlucky, but I think it's great. Before I maybe missed a cut by 10, but now I'm closer, missed cut by 1. So, which I feel like every day I'm improving and still just love this game.
As a coach, I don't know how many of you are doing that with your competitive players where you're on the app or you're on some stupid, thing on your phone and you're refreshing, trying to watch the scores come through. And in the second round, she was right on the cut line. And she was hovering right there, and it came down to the last hole, which was a par 3, right? The ninth hole?
The hardest par 3.
Hardest par 3, and she's standing on the tee, and she kind of needs to make a birdie. And she hits an unbelievably good 7-iron right at the hole. It goes, how far away was it?
3 foot.
3-footer, right? So now she's walking up to the green, and I'm watching on my app, and I'm like, okay, well, this is a pretty good test on whether or not the putting's going to really hold up. And I'm sure she's feeling that way the whole time as well. She had such a great iron shot, gets up on the green. You feel like you have to make that to make the cut, right?
Yes, for sure.
So you go through the routine, same feeling that you had in the playoff? Did you have that confidence?
Yes, I do, yeah.
She makes it. And then the cut drops, and she misses the cut by 1 anyway, which was a bummer. But I really feel like at that moment, you were back because you executed under pressure and were able to make a birdie when you had to, and that was just a completely different place than you had been.
Yes, definitely.
So then we go towards the Open Championship again in Wales, and your favorite tournament.
Yes.
So you're at the Open Championship. Tell me about the week at the Open.
It was awesome. Like, when I get there, I feel good. I feel like I belong to this course. It's very lengthy style, and then the wind it was blowing, and the rain was terrible. Like I see most of people not enjoy this, but I'm so happy on the course. I feel like I play the most happiest round in the last 3 years. But that day I shot 76. But I feel like, oh, it's not about the score. It's about how enjoy I am on the course and to execute the shot I want. It was tough condition, but I just enjoy a lot. And I feel that after that round, I would start crying in the happy tears. I was like, wow, this is the feel I won for a long time. And I'm just so happy that I didn't give up myself. I'm just so happy that I'm still standing here and then play the golf I love. Otherwise, I would never see all these happen. So I'm just, after that, I just feel very grateful and very proud of myself.
So you make the cut.
I made the cut, yeah.
Got to play the weekend at the Open, which was fantastic. And I just think as a coach, like you can tell when your player's really starting to get there. And she doesn't need me very much, which is always good. It's a good sign. So she makes the cut at the Open, big accomplishment, back on the weekend in a major. And then you go back home.
Yes.
And you're going to go back home for a few months. And Wistrom comes up, right?
Yes.
And so now she's playing in her home country. Is that your home city as well?
Yes, that's my home city, my home country. My whole family, friends are there.
Family, friends, LET events.
Yes.
And the weather's not great.
Yeah, so I'm happy.
Yeah, so she's in her wheelhouse because the weather's not great. And in the lead going into the last day?
Yes, and that's a tournament, like, I have been a little struggling to shooting like 60s. Like every time like 2 under, 3 under, 1 under. Like it's very hard to go below like 69. And that tournament, the first day I shot what, 63? Yeah, I was like, wow, so once I'm going really well. And I shot 63 and then I was leading. But on the final day, I was like, wow, I haven't done this for so long. I was so nervous. I was really nervous on the range. I told my friend, I told my caddy, can you slow me down a little bit? Because I feel everything was going very fast. I was really excited and try to get on the course. And at the same time, I try to not think ahead because I know I want this so bad, but I keep reminds myself, you're already good being this far, like to how far you have come and to have chance to be in the final groups again. It's already good. It doesn't matter how the result is. You're just going to enjoy this moment, enjoy that pressure again. So at the first 5 holes, I was so nervous, even for 5 holes. And then on the 6th hole, I start feeling, okay, I'm starting to relax again. I hit into the hazard. I'm like, oh shit, this is really... I start feeling I'm relaxed and I hit into the hazard. And then after 9 hole, I'm the only one that shoots even. Everybody else is like 3 under, 4 under. So I think we were tied like after the 9 hole. But after that, I told myself, I got 9 more holes to go. And I always coming from behind. I like to chasing people. Like I like to do this. I'm trying to feel like, okay, I want to play my own game and be aggressive again. And I make 4 birdies in a row. And then I think the tournament's in.
Yes. And I don't know if when she was starting to get going again, I told her, I'm like, you have something that most tour players will never understand, and that's just a comfort in winning. Like, there's something special about somebody that can win a major championship. It really is a unique skill. There's only been 12 number 1 players in the world over the last 20 years in the LPGA Tour. And Yani was number 1 for 2 years. And I knew that when she'd get in the situation again, it would come back. And it did. And those last few holes coming down the stretch, because you had a nice lead, right?
Yes.
How are you feeling going into the last hole? Tell me about the last hole and what that felt like, standing on the tee and being in that situation again.
The thing is, like, I don't know if I'm leading or not.
Oh.
Actually, I try to not look at scoreboard because I just want to stay in the present. Number 18 was pretty tight fairway, but I know if I hit on the fairway, I'm gonna execute this well. But instead of holding out the irons, I'm just like putting on my driver, hit as hard as I can, and then try to feel the swing feeling that we have.
Yeah.
That's what I feel under the pressure. That's what I need on that moment. And then I did it. I was so exciting. The funny part is when I'm playing my best, back in days, I always look at scoreboard. I always look what I need right now. Do I need birdie, or do I can play safe? I can play smart, or what I need to be there. But now I feel like game has been changed a little bit. I try to focus on what I can do right now instead of keep looking about the scoreboard. But I feel when my game is back again, I will probably start enjoy looking at scoreboard again.
So you ended up coming onto the last green. Did you know by then that you were going to
I
win
know
the
by
tournament?
then from the scoreboard on the 18 greens.
So all your friends, family are surrounding you,
Yes.
right? And you get to putt out. How was that experience to watch the ball go in the hole again?
It was awesome. It's like I have been pictured that moment for over 10 years, and so many times I'm questioning myself if I can do it again. And after that last pot dropping, I still feel like it's unreal. It's like it's a dream or it's a reality. So it's very tough. After that last pot dropping, I start crying for that last. Keep thinking about that last 10 years, how hard it was. Sorry.
It's okay. You don't have to apologize. I mean, I think when we were talking about it, you've won a lot of golf tournaments in your life, you know, and this one easily, I think, is way more important to you than any of the majors that she won. And the thing about Yani that's so cool is she's just a human being, right? I mean, you don't see anything about her that isn't just one of us. She loves golf. She's had her struggles with the game, but to come back and win again, you can see how impactful that is. And for me as a coach, like I got to coach my kid through college golf. That was a blast. But out of all the things I've done, watching her succeed is easily the most fun I've ever had because it means so much to her, you know, and being part of that journey has just been amazing. And I'm even choked up with her all the time because I'm so proud of her because she's come so far. So there's a lot of hope on the horizon for you, right? I mean, she made 2 cuts in a row, which is fantastic. And the game is getting there. You're seeing a lot of really good ball striking rounds. I always look at the putting numbers, even though the LPGA Tour unfortunately doesn't have great strokes gain stats, but she's putting well. Everything seems to be coming together, and I know she's going to contend again and be in that situation, and she knows how to win golf tournaments for sure. She's proven that, and I can't wait to watch that again for Yani, because I know you're ready to do that, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I know
Thank
she
you.
is. So I thought it'd be fun to look at some of the technical stuff because, like I said, this is a teaching summit. Although her story is so compelling, I just wanted to share that with you. And depending on how much time we have, we may hit some balls. We'll see.
Okay.
But before we look at the technical, I did want to mention that it was probably about a year ago. Did you start working with Parker?
Yes.
So we did some short game stuff, dealt with some of the issues that she was having, but I'm friends with Parker McLaughlin, who's short game chef on Instagram.
Yes.
And Parker's made a big impact. Can you tell me a little bit about what changes you've made with Parker on your pitching and chipping and your bunker techniques and how that's changed?
I think the way that Parker teaches more using your body. I think that helps me a lot under the pressure because sometimes I'm trying to controlling too much with my hand instead of going back to what my body is. So I feel we're working a lot with like one hand drill, feel my chest is turning, make sure everything is moving instead of, I think it's very easy when you chip, just use your hand. So I'm very good to hit like flop shot or bunkers, but not very good at hitting basic one because when I'm doing the basic one, I just use my hand instead of rotating my chest. But when you hit bunker or like flop shot, you just use your hand, right? You're rotating as much. So I feel after I seen Parker, my basic shot has been improved quite a lot to feel my chest more turning. And under the pressure, that's kind of what I remind myself to take that 2 practice stroke with the chest turning feeling. And I think that just keep me more consistently to landing the spot that I want to land.
In your putting right now, what are you working on with your coach on your technical with your putting?
Nothing much because my technical, since I changed lefty, my head start moving. Nothing's moving. Like I just like feel like coming from very naturally. So I we work on a lot of speed drill, working on a lot of to line up my ball. And then I think one thing that big change is every morning start my warm up. I always try to go 3-footer and circle the hole to feel okay if this putt is right edge, this is left edge, this is straight, to make sure I feel my eyes exactly what I see.
Gotcha.
So I feel that that's been helping me out a lot.
Great. So if you want to walk over to the screen with me,
Which swing are you gonna show?
we'll see.
I don't know if I want to watch.
So that you could see it a little bit easier side by side. So it's set up, you see a lot more tilt in her shoulders with the blue shirt on the original one. And if you watch the stroke, you'll see her head moving well back through impact. So if you look at the kind of the button on the top of her hat, you can see that red line going straight down is quite a bit behind the ball. And then through impact, her head is going to move back away from the target, away from the hole. And contact was a problem, and just a lot of movement making it difficult. On the new one on the right, shoulders are much more level. It's set up, her head is much closer to being to the ball at address. And then if you watch her head through impact, you'll see a very different look as her head's much more steady through impact. So those changes at address were significant, and I didn't tell her to do anything. Literally, that's just her grabbing a left-handed putter and putting. And so the technique got much better without any instruction. That makes me happy. It makes me look like a genius. I didn't know that was going to happen. But the yips are an unfortunate situation, and it happens to a lot of players. And the surefire way, if you've tried everything, is to go opposite hand. It rewires the way your brain is getting the information from your eyes, and you just don't feel those wiggles anymore through impact. So this was a significant change, and as she said, kind of changed everything for her. And you're not thinking much about mechanics right now when you're standing over the ball. And we always want to have that happen. So if we go to some of the pitching technique, you'll see on this one, and a theme happens with short game. You know, putting and chipping and pitching are very similar skills. You know, you're not using your body a lot. Arms are kind of doing most of the work with your hands, and there's not a lot of body rotation. So you'll see on those, sometimes a problem in one area will show up in another area. Yani was great at lob shots and flop shots and bunker shots, but not as good on the vanilla boring shots.
Yes.
So even on these, you'll see that difference in shoulder position at address. The one on the right is her with Parker. I think that might have been a couple weeks ago. And the one on the left is one of the original ones I took. And you see the difference in her tilts at address. Through impact, just kind of leaning backwards on the left, and on the right, she's able to move her chest forward and through the shot, and just made everything much, much easier on her short game shots. Tell me about the trajectory you're trying to flight your basic shots at right now.
I always like to fly a little lower, but I think when I'm flying a little lower, it's because I was leaning the shaft too much, so sometimes I don't get that spin. Once I work with Parker, so we got that natural leaning shaft, but still have lower trajectory, but with more spin. So I
Right.
think that's quite interesting. You want me to feel like when I chip, I kind of stepping on my right feet over to make sure my chest is moving that way instead of just the shaft was leaning.
Right. So she'd lean back, her hands would go forward,
Yeah.
leading edge engaging with the ground, and now she's getting that shaft lean through her pivot instead of through her
Yes.
hands, making a big difference. So, and then the fun stuff, which I know she wanted me to show everybody, her original swing. Sorry, Yani.
I think that's the one you want me to show you the best swing.
So on the left, we've got 2011. Is this your favorite swing?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is her favorite swing. And some of the things, without getting too deep into the technical, the one on the right is where she showed up that first day at Brentwood. And she was kind of a player who looked like she was kind of drawing it and kind of fading it. It wasn't really a pattern that would be a predictable result. Certainly not on the contact on the face. Where were most of the mishits back then, Yani, on the face? Mostly on the toe?
I mean, like back.
In the old, yeah, when we first started.
Yeah, I was on the toe and a little bit of push.
So the takeaway, you can see the face looks more closed. Going to the top, the one on the left is, which is something we reproduce all the time now. The club head is going to fall down to the left of her hands and then work more left. So we spend a lot of time on the range working on getting her hand path as she starts down to work out away from her with the shaft moving to the left. And it seems like the exact opposite of what you would want to teach with hands coming down. We don't want to do that. We want the hands going out. We want the club and her hands away from her so the path can get left through impact. And we've done some entertaining drills doing that.
Yes, and I think when I was always trying to feel like I want to do the lags, but it's not working whatever I think. It's
Right.
actually the opposite way. So if I feel I'm actually screwing the club, and I will get that lag.
Right.
If I keep feeling the lag, I keep going through the club. So it's the feel and real are very different.
Isn't golf fun? So as she was coming down on the right, you'll see that the club is more to the right of her hands at the top. The club head is moving more straight up in the transition. And then coming down, the club would be more behind her on these older swings. So that shaft that I'm drawing right there, where the knuckles are at the top of the shoulder, we try to get that shaft pointing as far outside the ball as possible. Because if it's working really shallow and out, it'll steepen on the downswing and her hands can get closer to her and the path gets left. If the shaft is more straight up and down or more vertical, the handle will go out, the club will stay behind her. And she would even feel that on some pitch shots, right? And some intermediate wedge shots
like
too.
always kind of drop me high a little bit.
So we try to work the exact opposite pattern. And on the downswing on the left, the club is kicking more out and working left. And the one on the right, you can see the club is way more behind her coming down. And a lot of shots off the toe and just not a lot of control over the pattern that she was trying to hit. So we messed around and we did a lot of fun things. Here are a few of them. So you can see on the left, we've got hitting off of her knees, which was fun. She could hit driver off the ground really well at one point and then couldn't do it at all.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big key for changing a feel is hitting driver off the ground. You can't do that with the club behind you. That's not going to work. So I try to change things as much as I can without telling her to be in a position, but more about the momentum that we're trying to create. So as we look at the one on the left off her knees, the one on the right, she's doing a helicopter on the way through. You can see that helicopter finish. Those are both very effective at getting the club head out, throwing the head left, and trying to get that pattern back that's left to right. And then we have a couple more fun ones here. The one on the left is kind of like a VJ Tseng drill. We're using a golf ball out in front of the ball itself. And you can see that on the way through, we want the club head to be traveling left of that ball with the driver. There's the club going the right direction. And now the head of the club is outside the ball just before impact and we can get it to go left. The one on the right, we've got two balls in between, creating a left path. Same thing on that one, trying to get the club to go left, which she's doing really well. And then we've got these are kind of fun. We have the bucket on the left, her new favorite drill. I gave her that bucket when we were done because she was doing so well. So now the club, you can see well outside, straight up, and the head left of her hands, and now that club can get out on the downswing. And those are just some of the things that we do on a regular basis to help her stay on top or even outside of what most people consider would be on plane. But it's all about getting her face and the path matching at impact so we can create a left to right shot shape.
Yes.
And everything we do is working towards that. And she will struggle at times and still hit the toe when the club isn't out enough. But I think, the true sign that she's getting it is that I don't hear from her as much. And that's the best thing that can happen as a coach, because she's out on her own, playing really good golf, hitting a bunch of greens in regulation, and starting to get that confidence that she owns it. And that's what I want from her. I don't want her thinking a lot about her golf swing. I want her winning tournaments. So,
But as right now, I know my pattern is always dropping inside. So every tournament, I'll give myself like 10 minutes just working on that drill, just keep feel like I'm coming from the outside. Because I think the more of I play, it's very easy to go back what it used to be. So to kind of training myself to feel I'm coming from the outside, I think that helps a lot.
yes, I agree.
When you start overdoing
Yeah, so Brady told me if you see too much fade or if you see the ball starting going too far left, and I haven't done that yet. Like it was crazy. Like especially when you have full swing with full speed, it's very hard to overdo it. If I don't care about the ball, maybe, but when I'm still thinking about if I want to hit a target where I want it, I haven't really overdone it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, where it shows you how ingrained the change became of trying to hit a draw. But she's in a great place. I think the best place you can be as a player, where you try to do something too much and you can't quite do it too much. That means that you're really able to be aggressive on the changes that you're making. Question in the back? I'm sorry, can you say that again? Couldn't hear. Oh. So the question was, why did she go down the path trying to hit a draw? Was it her choice, a coach's choice?
Um, I think it's more like the coach, what I have been in the past, because I really don't know what I want, so I'll listen whatever coach was saying. And I feel like it's not like hitting draw. I think it's more like bringing back my swing more neutral. I think whatever we see on the Instagram, on the social media, a lot of a lot of coaches are sharing like more like a neutral stuff. But I didn't know back then my swing was better for fade instead of try to hit a draw. But whenever I try to do more neutral swing, my swing pattern is kind of towards a little bit of draw because that's what makes looks better. That's what makes everybody on the social media with the perfect swing. So I feel like I was trying to towards that way to try to be perfect on the P1, P2, the full swing. So it's not working for me, but it works for some other players.
It's a really good question. So you want to sit and we'll have answer a few questions?
Yeah, sure.
So I think as a coach, like I don't want neutral straight shots. Those are really difficult to repeat. I want somebody that has some funk in them, has something that's unique to them that they own. So if they come as a fader, come as a drawer, whatever it is, if they have an idiosyncrasy, I'm more than willing to keep that because I want them to feel like they're making their own swing and not some version that I've created for them. One thing about the new swing that you might notice is that the takeaway is quite a bit out and away from her. And I don't really care where the club is in the takeaway. I really care where it is coming down. And the ball really cares at impact. So if that swing that we were making before wasn't giving us the path that we wanted, then we needed to do something different. And that's when her body changes come in where she had some injuries. But she's just way more effective at getting the club in the right direction coming down when she's more outside in the takeaway. So I don't care where it is. You don't care where it is anymore, right?
Yeah, not anymore.
Not
But
anymore.
the first few months, I cares a lot. I was like, why my club looks so far out? I don't like it. I want to look more neutral, and I can still come in from the same place that we wanted to. But whenever I try to take that perfect backswing, for me, it's just keep dropping back. So now I know there is spectrum that this far out, I know I can come in from the outside, and because I try both. I try look perfect, but the ball is not starting where I wanted to. And then so now this few months, I don't ask that again. I don't ask, can I take a little bit more inside? I was like, no, it just try to keep outside as much as I can because that way makes me feel very easy to coming down as outside in
Yes.
pass.
Yeah. So she has a window in her mind. She knows that at P2 or on the way up, as long as it's within a certain tolerance, either way, she's good. And that's where I'd rather be checking. I don't want her to try and be in a perfect spot. I want her to be in places that we know she can play great golf from.
Yes, I think that's definitely helps me a lot as a field player because before I was trying to like playing perfect with that P1. Okay, this is only the place I can hit a good shot. But after you told me the spectrum, in this you can all hit good shots, and I feel like that makes me much easier to do it in my swing and to do it in the tournament.
I agree.
First of all, Randy Tseng from Yani, Yani, thank you so much for being here and sharing your journey. And so great to have you back. You're an icon in the game, and I want to thank you for being here, number one. The question that I have is like everybody kind of talks about is you talk all about confidence and feeling good over a shot. What happens in your experience when you don't feel confident or you don't feel good over the shot and you're out there, what is your process of either regaining that confidence back from player perspective, and as a coach, how do you help them gain that confidence back?
I think I tried a few different things. I think everybody hear about a lot of a fake and you make it. And I feel like that's not working for me because when you don't see the shot, you have to fake it that you're good. It's very hard. So I feel like if I can execute and to focus on what I can focus, and that's good. Like that's why I say after the shot, I will ask you myself, what's good there? And that's the things that I can focus on. So when I'm under like uncomfortable situation, I'll tell myself, it's either I can focus on the swing thoughts or I can focus on my body. Sometimes I'll actually feel just holding my finish or I will feel feet balance. You know, something that I can really focus on one thing. Normally, not more than two, but just that one focus that can keep me throughout the swing. So even me and Brady were working on trying to feel the chest turning left. And that's the focus, what I have on the course. So, but to turning left to feel that all the way to the finish. And I think that helps me a lot to focus on what you can have right now instead of thinking about the outcome. But at the same time, I'm not trying to tell myself to be confident here because it's very hard. It's not going to happen in 1 second. But at least I can bring it back to see what I can do, what I can control right now, and to try to execute that focus or the swing thought all the way to the finish. Because sometimes we lose at the impact, we lose at the back of a top swing. So it's to have that focus all the way through the finish. I think it helps me a lot to stay in control during the swing.
That's a good question, Randy. I'd just say from a coach's perspective, like I don't believe players can talk themselves into feeling confident. I think they need facts, you know, especially like Yani. So when she is executing, hitting good shots, it's my job to just kind of continue to reinforce, look, you're good. That's exactly what we're trying to do. And when you hit a bad one, shake it off as long as you have a pretty good idea what's going on when you're not hitting the good shots. We just want to build on the momentum of her seeing good results and just remind her how good she really is, because she's really, really good, as you know. Question?
Yes. So what are you're kind of explaining your downswing thought right there with the changes you've gone through? Is there a really focused backswing thought, like you're trying to feel okay, way outside and then chest left? So you go with like those specific swing thoughts.
Yes, I think when we start practicing, we're working on the backswing first before we start in the downswing. So we were trying to take it back as first to see how is that momentum going. So we're working on that backswing for 6 months. And after that, we start using all different kind of drill to let me feel like what is exactly it feels to swing left. And so for me to feel like swing left is from chest turning more, because I think when I'm coming down, my right shoulder kind of dropped this way instead of feel on top more. But we try to have some different feeling instead of Brady told me what's that feeling to go in left. So he will let me explore what I'm feeling on the swing. And I think that helps me a lot because every day is kind of feeling a little different. Today I feel that chest is working and tomorrow is not. So I have some 2-3 different feeling that it's gonna help me to feel like my pass is going left. And to working on that different drill what helps me stay in contact during the tournaments.
In the back.
Going from your original swing in 2011 that looked like and had this positive picture in your head, then taking time away and having to under your surgeries, did you have to almost reset and relearn with your new range of motion and adapting that to where you are today?
So basically he's asking, when you had the surgeries and your body was different, did it take time to adapt to where your body had become rather than where it used to be? Did you have to make changes?
Yeah, I think I do have to make a change with some of the swing and my physical body. But I remember the first lesson you asked me how long I would know if this coach will suit you.
Yes.
And I was like, 10 minutes? because I feel like if you can give me the stuff that for me I'm very easy to do it, I feel that that's a good swing for me. Because I have been working with some coach that have to practice 8 hours a day, and I'll probably only get one swing that what he wants. So I think that means that will be very difficult to my body because that swing is not suiting for me. So if I feel the coach can give me the swing that I can do it right away, and I think that will suit your body as well. So I feel after the surgery, I know my hip is not it's not rotating as much like a younger version of me, or my upper body is not rotating as much. I used to be overswing a lot. Now I try as hard to overswing. It just I don't turn as much, but at the same time, I feel like to feel the body I have, and then instead of overworking it, instead of against to my body, I just kind of following what my more like listening to my body, what my body needs, and to working with Brady, I think it just easy to give me the swing that I can able to hit it every shot. I can able to do it like to repeat every shot, and I think that helps me a lot with my body feeling and with the mental that I have, and I think it's easier to do it.
I agree. And what she said was true. I asked her, how long do I have before you are walking away from me? And I had 10 minutes. So we got it done, fortunately.
Yeah, because I remember the first one you told me, and I did it. I did whatever you were saying, and I feel, wow, that feels pretty good. And it's not very hard to do it. It's not like I need to twisting my body and to feel uncomfortable. So but I used to have a coach that whatever swing he gives me, it's just very hard to do it. I practice hard every day, and I still couldn't do it. So I feel that's kind of very important things for me, that how I know if this swing suits me.
Anybody else have any questions?
My goal, it's of course to win in a tournament again, but like I said, I want to get back to on the court and play fearless, and to enjoy as much as I can. And the thing is very lonely on tour now. All my friends are retired, and like I'm like oldest out there, and all the people I don't really know. They're so young. Everybody just bumps the ball, and then I try to keep my body and then try to not losing too much of distance. But I feel like I just want to go back out there and play in the competition again, and try to win a tournament. And I feel like I can. I still have a capable to do it. I play smarter than before. I know the game was so different from those young girls. When I saw them, it kind of reminds me how fearless the golf is, and how playing without expectation. They just hit every shot to the pin. They don't care, and they just enjoy so much out there. And it kind of reminds me that's what I used to do, and I want to do that again. And I think I don't know how long I will play, but as long as I still love this game, I still love to practice and enjoy the things I'm doing, I'll just keep going.
It's great. Last one.
I was really nervous. I was like, I don't know if this thing's gonna work. But like I say, I practice a week. I go to the first tournament. I still don't know if this thing's gonna work. But after I step on the first putt, I'm like, wow, this feels great. Since that, I just 100%. I want to do this. Switch to the left hand. To feel like it's not like I'll make everything, but to feel very comfortable over the ball, it helps me so much, and I don't get that anxiety that when I walking to the on the green, and it helps my chipping too. I don't have to be perfect. Helps my iron. I don't have to hit on the green all the times. I can be more aggressive. If I miss, I can go chip. I can still make 3-footer putts. But before, when I don't putt well, everything needs to be perfect. Otherwise, it's very easy to make bogeys. But now, putting, it just makes me feel so comfortable, and give me confidence on the chipping, give me confidence on the irons, and it just make this game much easier. People ask me if I want to switch back, but as right now, I'm enjoying a lot putting lefty, and I feel every week people still talking about it. I know it's crazy, but I just feel like it's life change for me. It gives me a hope to win in the tournament again.
That's awesome. It makes me so happy and so proud that you feel like you're going to do that. I think she's going to win again, too. Yani, thanks for hanging out and answering
Thank you.
questions. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody else. And it was great.
Thanks, Brady. Thank you. That was wonderful, wasn't it, guys? Especially that story from being so high to so low to come back. Everyone likes that story. Woodland did it again this week. Another inspiring story right here. So thank you so much for your time. Thanks for driving all night to come down to the Kingdom for us. And
Yeah, I feel like for me, the biggest thing I took away, whether you're a tour player or a club pro, we're all looking for a feeling. And that feeling will give us our confidence, whether we're teaching, playing, or just talking to our members. So don't lose that feeling and keep searching for it, because you might just have to go on the other side of the putter to find it, but it's there. I just recently switched to the claw because I feel like I have lost my putting stroke from coming back from having kids. I've never got it back, and now I'm desperate to find something, and it's given me hope to not off myself after each round. So I know you all can relate to that.